Kuzampola, and you're watching Dungso BBS. The second part of our earlier discussion, we had to leave it at our limited time scope, but now we're this week taking up more discussion on early intervention as well as families that deal with disabilities. A warm welcome again on Dungso BBS. We've left off the discussion halfway because obviously we have a limited time scope, but this week let's focus on families that deal with disabilities. So before we start, Madam, a brief introduction again to our viewers.
Kuzampola, I'm Bedagiri. I used to work in pediatric physiotherapy. I'm a mother of a child with Rett syndrome. I was on deputation from Minister of Health to Ability Bhutan Society as I initiated Ability Bhutan Society, and I was as an executive director for 8 years, and now I am as a technical advisor for Ability Bhutan Society.
A lovely introduction, thank you, La. And
Kuzampola, I'm Vishnu Guru, and I'm working as a social worker in Ability Bhutan Society for 8 years.
Nice, La. Wonderful. La. WHO has termed this. La. They say that when a person in a family has a disability, the family members also experience the disability, and is termed as the third party disability. And as you know, like parents and caregivers, like Madam yourself, you said that you were in denial at first, then maybe a sense of guilt also comes over all of us. La. Parents are the primary caregivers with children with disabilities, and therefore they can experience high level of stress, anxiety and depression la, due to their intensive demand, and also when we have to cope with limited resources. La. So your center does a lot for, you've even termed it as Family Empowerment Forum. La. So could you please tell us, how do these parents la, who are already so stressed out with anxiety, la, how do you manage to bring them together and probably relieve a lot of their stress? La?
So at our center, like every Friday of the last every month, the last Friday we do a family empowerment programs. There we invite different expertise working in the field of disability, and even before the pandemic, we even took advantage of tourists visiting in our country, and then we make them talk with our parents, and then we made our parents to get relief. And also we don't let our parents they are the only one with the parents with the disability. There are also some parents who also has children with the disabilities, and we encourage them to come together and share their ideas, share their emotions, and help each other to overcome their emotions and all. And also we also encourage them even when they have difficulties to work with children with disabilities at home, we encourage them to come forward and seek our help and advice, and anytime we will be there to help them. So in this way we are helping the parents.
We use as a skill development.
Yes. La.
Yeah, for the children. That includes parents.
Okay.
So example if the child needs to go to market, we usually display lots of vegetables like food stalls and other thing, so the child can use a money skills,
Oh.
Yeah, because that is one of the area that the child needs to do when they grow adult.
Yes. La.
So, and which is very important.
Of course.
Yeah. So these are the skills we do it, and it really helps the parents to see, how the child can do it. With the help of parents, we ask the child to do it, and the child will also start learning. Oh, this is vegetables. The money, with the money we can buy vegetables. With the we get the change if it is more like this, and then they will start processing. They will start understanding about it, and the parents will see the potential that the child can do it.
Yes.
So these are one of the area that we usually do it. And the other thing is we try to bring the parents together on behavior issues, because many times the children with autism spectrum disorder has difficulty expressing, so they show it in tantrums or other behaviors because they cannot express.
Okay.
So these are the areas where we can help parents to cope up, and the parents share in this forum they can share their issues. If some of the parents have the strategies already done, so that the parents can share their knowledge, what they have been doing, strategies for their child, which is very helpful, and that also helps the parents reduce their stress level down, and that is how we try to empower the families and bringing the parents level stress down.
And now I hear that there are more organizations that have come up, like Pensum Parents Group. They also get together to deal with. So I think the support group is all over now. I mean, people are getting more aware that just one person cannot shoulder everything. It has to be like, it takes a village to raise a child. So you need to come together.
And the good thing is, like, we have we are coming up with different parent support group. There is another DPO, the vocational training center, the early intervention program like Ability Bhutan Society, Stroke Foundation, if there are children who get stroke at the early age also. So there are lots of NGOs coming up, but the goal is for the individual person and also to know how best we can do it and how best we can support the child, family, and the community as large. Yes. The parents are the most resourceful ones, They know the child best. So with the help of our social worker or any of the interventionists, it is very not that difficult to intervene the child.
And madam, you would know the best. It's not that difficult.
It's not that difficult. Anything through play, the child learns very easily. And we have to make it more motivational, more meaningful, more playful for the child, and not to give them the negative things, like not to avoid them, include them in as much as possible in any of the activities they do at home.
Like washing dishes, I would imagine.
Yes, any activities, because even if the child cannot go, hold the child hands and then let the child bring the utensils, like plates and pans to the kitchen, or maybe while pouring tea or any water, let the parent help them, because they will see it. The visualization is very important for child to learn. And meanwhile, not only by just pouring, but again talking to them, explaining them is very important, which is done in everyday life, which everybody does it. But we should not let that the child cannot do it, or we need to do it. That should not be there for the parents. Anything small way, it takes time. The small intervention, the progress takes times like a month to 6 months. So parents should not give up. The caregiver should not give up, saying that I have done it for 1 week, but there is no result. But yes, there will be a result, but we need our consistent from our parents' view, and the child will learn.
So consistency is the key.
Yes.
And
reinforcement
is another.
And visual with communication is a main
So the
area.
parents doesn't have to be a hi-fi therapist to do that. Thank you, ma'am.
Everybody can
do you
do
agree,
it.
Madam Vishnu?
Yes, and also like to work with children with disability, we need lots of patience.
Patience,
So the children will not show their progress immediately. We need to wait, but we should not stop. Like if you teach once, the children will not catch. So we need to teach again and again. So definitely the children will learn.
And our social workers goes to the home, they try to sit with the parents and parent and child, and even the activities of daily living like brushing, grooming, there are lots of things that we need to do for the child, and we involve the parents at that time so that the parents can continue, and it will be not like a one-time job, so that it becomes easier for parents to follow up, because we believe the environment makes a difference, and the home environment is the area that the child spend the most. Parents, it tends to overprotect the child. As a parent also, I feel the same. Whether if somebody wants to do, I wanted to do it first, because I overprotect. I feel that my child cannot do, That
Okay.
was the thinking for the
So you're-
parents all
you're-
the time.
You're like a
Yeah,
you're
overprotective.
yeah, Nazla.
But in ABS we have learned, and with our own experience, with my own experience, I learned that it is not a meaningful way of giving the independence to the child.
Oh, that's
So-
I'm so glad you said
Yeah.
that, because
So
Yes.
what we do is we make the child parents sit outside. They can have a group. They can share their experience with the parents, so
yes.
that at least the parents also need time, no?
of course,
Yeah, because they will be so stressed, and
Yes.
they need a time to talk to them. They can share what their child is doing. So
With the
that is
other
the
parents,
time.
yes,
Yes.
okay.
So they have. While we are doing, our social workers are doing the therapy
Okay.
at intervention in the classroom.
Yes,
The
yes.
parents also have their time to talk to their, so that they can have a stress relief. They
Okay,
can
yes.
make a network within themselves. They can
Oh,
make friends, so that they can exchange
yes.
their
Yes.
challenges and strength.
Yes.
But we have a Friday programs for parents
Lesla.
where we don't bring the children.
Oh, just the parents.
Yeah,
Oh, Les.
where we try to solve the parents' concerns.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, home intervention is the area that we try to focus on individual child and parents, which has become a very success.
Also, we have developed the communication book for each child, and we have delivered them to their home. And also, with the support from UNICEF, we also purchased some toys, educational toys, and we have delivered them at their home. And then we taught their parents and caregiver like how to use the toys in a meaningful ways.
Les. How many children are actually registered with your center with the autism spectrum disorder?
Ours, unlike like schools, our center is not like, we don't have like particular months or date to get the admission.
Yes.
Any time of the year they can come and do the register with us, and then we will straightly start giving our intervention services. And then like so far from March till now, within 1 month we have received so many new children. So far we have 44 children registered with us within this year. So we don't have a limited seat for the children. So anyone can come at any time and they can register, and we will directly give them the intervention services.
The awareness program that ABS is initiated, and we are doing it, has made a lot of impact on bringing the parents as early as possible, identify the children's issues, and they usually get to the hospital as early as possible. And once they get diagnosis, usually the hospital refers to us as for the early intervention programs. And that's how the awareness, I think, is reaching towards the nation, and many parents, the other families are aware that when they identify or recognize the child issues, they usually refer. And many times it's not only with the hospital, but they usually have words of mouth also. We have children, they never go to hospital, but they come to center. So when they come to center, we usually refer to hospital, so that they also, because we need to work together.
Les.
Yeah. And sometimes the children needs medication on other behavior and other issues, seizures. So what we do, and even the diagnosis won't be there, so only the symptoms, and because of the delays in communication and social interaction, the parents bring to us, knowing that there is an existence of Ability Bhutan Society. And once we register them, and then we send them to the hospital for proper assessment and diagnosis, and then they usually come and we start intervention as well.
When there is awareness, there's less stigma and discrimination. Would you
Yes,
see that happening?
yes, the
reduction?
acceptance is more now. Now the parents are very open, and they now what the parents are saying is they are not different. Yeah, so they, as early as we support the child, it's easier for parents as well as the child. So parents have understood now. Many of the parents have understood, and then they are bringing up, which is which will be helpful for the parents
Yes.
to stress level down, as well as it will help the child's independence.
Nice. So could you stress a little bit on your motto?
Yeah.
How did you come up with this motto in the Ability Bhutan Society? See the person, not the disability.
Yeah. If I say a little bit about myself and my daughter,
Yes.
my daughter was profound. Like she could only turn if I made her turn.
Oh.
Yeah, she was a profound disability. She was bedridden for 15 years, and everything I used to do because she was so profound, even feeding, diapers, everything. But she could communicate through eyes, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
that was the best potential I got it, and I never see her as a child with disability. I never saw her as a child with disability, and that was the strength I got it from my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And my mission always is to see the person first,
Mm-hmm.
and our organization always talks about person first language, because once we start labeling the child, labeling the disability,
Mm-hmm.
then we will be ignoring the child's strength.
Yes, yes.
So having person at the beginning makes a difference, and it always, because the child has a name, the person has a name, no?
yes,
The child is not disabled by birth. It's not disabled. The child name is not disability, you know. The
Yes.
child has a name.
of course.
So we always look into the child first, the person first. So person first is very important for us.
Nice.
Then labeling is, because we believe, our society believe that if we intervene the child as possible, as early as possible, we can do many things for the child, and it will be very helpful for the parents, you know, because parents always have the notion, has a fear that what will happen to my child when I am not there. It's the biggest fear for every child, be it a mild types of disability or profound type of disability, but it's a fear. But as a parent, we always feel that person first language is very important, and as a society also, we don't want to label the person, because person is first, disability comes as second.
Yes, la. And when you give that kind of importance, you empower the person also.
Yes.
Yes, la.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, la. Autism spectrum disorder, la. We're focusing on that disability as such. There's no simple blood test or a biological marker, you know, where you can screen children for ASD, la. And the cause is still unknown, I believe, la.
Yes, it's
yes, la.
still there are lots of studies going on,
Yes.
but the cause is unknown. But the study says that it might be of genetic and non-genetic,
No.
as well as the environmental influences that might be causing autism or autism spectrum disorder.
Yes, la. So, without the cause, we cannot find a cure as such, no, la. So, in that case, isn't it a known fact that just therapy and intervention works? Is it, la?
Yes, intervention is the key component for children with autism
Yes.
spectrum disorder, as well as children with other disabilities.
Yes, la. This neurological disorder, which is autism, there's mild to severe on the
Severe.
spectrum, and we need various professionals. Like if we put up a graph right now, we need various professionals like physicians, group of physicians like behavioral pediatrician, child neurologist, child psychiatrist, behavior analyst, occupational therapist, speech language pathologist, social workers, physical therapists, and special educators or early interventionists. Do we have all of that in place right now, la, madam?
As of now, we have limited resources, human resources.
Yes.
Actually, for when you look into the child or individual with autism or any disability, we need a team of professionals
Mm-hmm.
and team of multidisciplinary approach,
Mm-hmm.
where we can look into the child and develop the child skills.
Yes.
But we don't, as of now, we have limited resources, and some of the areas like developmental pediatrics, child psychologist, and neurologist, we don't have in the country as of now.
Yes.
So what ABS, is it okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
go
What
ahead,
ABS does is we try to do the online capacity building from ACU, Australian Catholic Universities, and from other areas, from like India, Action for Autism, UMED, and all those, to help the child and the capacity building of the parents as well as the child, with the help of our social worker.
Yes.
So we do these areas because we have limited resources, but again we cannot wait till the resource comes and till the resources are available. So we try to link with the international agencies and this international team of professionals, where our social workers every Friday look into those capacity, and along with the social worker we involve all individual child at every Friday and Wednesday to help these children.
So I'm so glad you're using technology to help you. You know?
Yes.
You don't have to be sending physical, you don't have to go physically to another country to learn these skills.
Yes.
You can do it through, you know, Zoom or Skype.
Yes,
or,
we have been doing through
Yes.
Zoom, and they are very kind enough to help our children.
How wonderful.
And even going to the homes,
Yes.
when we are at homes, home environment,
Yes.
the professionals from abroad, they help us set the home setting for our children in different strategies.
So I'm so glad that your center is working with technology to get your social workers' skills upgraded. So it's wonderful to hear that, La.
Many children, those who come in our center, they are diagnosed with speech delay.
Yes.
So what we do is like we encourage them to come early for the intervention services, because we don't want them to be late and delay. So what our parents think is like, when their child is diagnosed with the speech delay, they always think like, oh, even my parents told me that I spoke at the age of 5 or age of 6. Definitely my child will speak. They have that notion. So we encourage them to not to be delay. If they come early, and if their child avail our service, early intervention service earlier, then there will be improvement, fast in improvement. And some parents even think like when they take their child to the religious site, their child will speak. Even some parents, they take their child without having food to the religious site, and when they said that when they open the lock, and then when they pour the cold water to their child, they think like their child will speak. Here I don't mean that I want to go against the religious belief, but we should take both religious belief as well as the intervention service together. So just done with for religious side only, we should take both religious and intervention together.
That's a very thoughtful thing of you to say, because Dr. Tsenchutoji also mentioned such practices where you take children, it's like a physical endurance they have to go through, you know.
Yes.
And then when you pour the cold water, he said maybe it's out of shock that the child utters those words, achu or
Yes.
ama or something like that, not because the child is being taught. So I think we should be mindful of that. So thank you for saying that, La. And now I want to also stress on the fact that children with autism and other disabilities also grow up to be adults with autism and other disabilities. So the transition is so important in life, because like Madam Veda said, parents won't be there forever, and it's parents' main worry is that when they are gone, who's going to be there looking after their child. So Madam, if you could touch upon how through your years at working with Ability Bhutans, have you seen any of those children gain some kind of a meaningful work experience, or you know, independence through the years? La?
Yeah. When children are brought at Ability Bhutan Society, we start with intervention. And we, as I mentioned earlier, that we do preparing them for the next transition. So we try to make them as independent as possible in our center itself, so that the child won't face much difficulty in new environment. And
the mainstream environment.
Mainstream, as well as to the ECCD, schools and vocational areas.
Yes.
And also some of the parents, they bring it to Thimphu, but they are from different districts.
Yes, yes.
So when we intervene here, they need to go back because they can't stay here for a long time. So they have to be included in the community.
Nice.
So there are few children who has been transitioned from our center to the ECCDs, and from ECCDs again to the schools, mainstream schools, and even to the St. Division schools. They have been more independent, and we also found out that the children who are intervened as early as possible in Ability Bhutan Society, and the children are brought, the atypical children, and the typical children. When we talk about children with disability and not children without disability, our children has been doing much better because the grooming of them, the giving them skills and making them confident, giving them confidence that they can do it, makes a difference.
Nice.
Yeah. So we have done it, but when we look into the adulthood, there are, as we start early as possible, as is early intervention, it is much easier for them to become independent, but many of the children, adult with autism, still need support in many of the areas of independence.
Nice.
And especially the communication and being socially attached with the social environment. But getting into employment is a big challenge for our children because the capacity, to observe our children, our individuals with autism and other disability are not that open because they need to be adapted in the environment, in the setting, the setting where they can. And we always encourage and we create awareness that to make it as an inclusive environment so that our individuals with autism spectrum disorder or any disabilities can be employed. Nevertheless, there are few individuals with disabilities who have been employed and they have been doing well, like tailoring, some with instructors, some of the areas, but still we as a society we really need to work hard to include them into a mainstream society and get employed.
What are the resources the parents can look into to really now get early intervention going, by themselves with their own initiative also, because that is part of the management. Please go ahead.
Ability Bhutan Society, now with the support of from UNICEF, has been developing a small strategic and tools where parents can do at home. So which will be soon uploading.
In your website?
Yes, and in our website, and also we will be giving to the districts, Jongkhak, so that every parents can be access to these areas, and we are doing as an audio visual, so that even the parents who cannot come to a center and who cannot read or write, they can at least see visually and do it. And we have developed in such a way that we don't need any expensive toys or high sophisticated toys or equipments. So we try to make it more accessible and more comfortable to the families based.
Yes.
And we want it really to reach to the families, to the centers, to the grassroots levels.
Yes. And nowadays everybody has a phone, so they can easily log on to your website and look up this audiovisual training kits as such, right? That's wonderful.
Like ABA therapy also, like they can look, it's lots in the YouTube channels.
Nice.
They can directly log in and they can learn like how to do ABA therapy at their home as well. But then when they do the intervention at home, it's not like the child should learn everything at a time. The parents should be mindful, like they need to break down the tasks into smaller steps and take a smaller step at the beginning, and then they can keep on adding the tasks in the later days. At the beginning, they should always break down the tasks into smaller steps and they can work on it.
Thank you very much for sparing us your time. I hope I didn't keep you away from your therapy sessions today, but I'm so glad that we have a competent, trained therapist, social worker working with our children with ASD and other disabilities. And Madam Bedagiri, you are a trailblazer through your own experiences, you came up with Ability Bhutan Society, which it's a blessing for all of us, love, to take our children and get the early intervention needed, and it's in keeping up with the memory of your daughter as well. It's a credit to her also. So we thank her for being in part of all our world, your world. So thank you very much for coming on Tungso BBS, and we be sure again to heed to the red flags and to get your children tested in the medical facilities here and to get the early intervention. Thank you very much for joining us, and good night.